Welcome back. This is Kevin Johnson of Leverage Consulting, and you are listening to the next episode of the Organizational Excellence Podcast. In a recent podcast, I was talking about a retail experience that I had and the negativity and limitations that the salesperson was putting on the transaction and how it was influencing things. And I wanted to bring that back around and use the same concept, but talk a little bit about how that applies to you in your everyday life and what you're doing within your business. And it doesn't matter if you're a team member, a manager, or an owner, doctor, whoever. This is something that any of us, I believe, have interests in getting ahead. Those interests might be making more money. It might mean creating less stress. It might mean creating systems, better communication, better customer service. I could go on and on. This type of thing I work with every day, day in, day out. Oftentimes what I find is we will take 30 strategies, put them all out on a table, and the intent is to take these 30 strategies and figure out what's going to be the best investment of our time and money to achieve a benchmark, achieve a goal, or something to that end. And what I do see oftentimes is that some will gravitate towards the things that they, in their mind, they know will not work. And it's that pessimistic outlook on things where we look at the list of 30 strategies or all the ideas out on the table, and we gravitate towards what we don't like. Instead, what if we spent the majority of our time looking at what we do believe will work? Draw an analogy or think about when you're at the restaurant and you go to a diner that has 100 menu options. I remember one from back in Baltimore where we used to go eat, and we always used to laugh because the menu itself is probably 12 or 15 pages long. And instead of spending the entire evening talking about all the dishes we don't like or we don't feel like eating tonight, we would talk about what we do want to eat tonight. Do you want that greasy, salty thing going on? Do you feel healthy tonight? You're going to have some crab cakes. Are we going to eat crab cakes tonight? We gravitate towards what we do want. So you need to do the same type of thing. We're early in the year. We're still looking at what do we want to achieve in 2020. And if we put 30 strategies out on the table, let's spend the majority of our time talking about what will work and how to make those things happen and really minimize that conversation about what we don't like. But I do want to caution you on one thing in that when you're looking at strategies that in your mind you say that won't work, you need to maybe step back and start asking some questions of yourself. And you need to ask some questions maybe of experts or ask questions of people who have been there and done that. It could be people in the same position, same field, and they've been there and done that. Or people who might be in like my position as a consultant. They've been there and done that with other people in the past. Ask questions because you might be faced with this conflict of you don't like it, but it might be because you've never considered it before. You've never been through it before. Or you kind of have this issue of we've never done this or we don't do it this way. We've always done it another way. And that in itself could be the problem, is just it's different. So when you're looking at what you're trying to achieve in 2020 and you're putting all those strategies out on the table, consider spending the majority of your time on what will work with the optimistic view of things as opposed to digging into all the reasons why certain things won't work. And some of you listening to this may think, well, this is not rocket science. And no, it's not rocket science. I will say it's about self-awareness and seeing when it's happening to ourselves, but it may also be aware enough and watching others and managing that reaction and guiding other people when you see those things happen, because it could be you, or it could be your team, or it could be your customer, client, or your patient that's having the same issue. So that, my friends, is your Organizational Excellence Podcast for today. I'll talk to you again soon.